Hello, sir. How are you?
Yes, I'm very fine.
Who am I talking to? Who am I speaking to?
Yes, my name is Odhiambo Gonzaga
Mm-hmm.
from NDHIWA Constituency.
From their constituency. Would you like to tell us more about yourself? Who you are, what you want?
Okay, I've just mentioned that my name is Odhiambo Gonzaga from NDHIWA Constituency, but NDHIWA is wide.
Yeah.
I come from a ward called Kabuoch,
Mm-hmm.
and that is where I'm raised. That is where I was born, and that is where I'm raised.
So you're from Kabwach,
Yes, I'm
their
from Kabuoch.
constituency.
Yes.
Many people say politics is a dirty game. Why politics?
Yes, many people say it is dirty, but from where I sit, politics is not dirty. It is the politicians that sometimes make it appear very dirty, and therefore uh, members of the public will perceive it dirty because they observe it from the behaviors of the politicians that we have in this country. So politics is everything in the life of a citizen, because it is from the politics that resources are uh, shared among the citizens of a country. It is the politics that governs our day-to-day activities in running a nation called Kenya that we all love. It is through politics that we get services devolved to common citizens, even to the villages that we come from. So for you to appear like you you are a patriot, even to the eyes of people who see you, politics is unavoidable. So it is our daily life.
Okay, so to you, politics itself is not dirty, but the politicians.
uh, yes, but with a moderation. I don't just say yes conclusively because I'm getting into it, or I'm part of politicians, so I would not say all politicians,
Are dirty.
but I will say the behavior of specific politicians that sometimes taint the image of politics. So many people now will blanket all politicians and then therefore make a judgment out of politics that it is a dirty game. It is not a dirty game. It is people, some specific people that misbehave in the surroundings of politics that makes people to conclude so.
Okay, and if I may ask, why in their constituency?
Yes, they were constituency because that is my rural constituency. That is the place where I was born and raised. Just a small history about my life. Even if life dictates that I'm in Nairobi, uh, I came to Nairobi just at the age when I was joining the university. So I was called in a university in Nairobi, so I had to come. But all my life, all my interactions with the society is the rural setup that brought me up. So I went to the local primary school. I went to the secondary school within Homa Bay County. And today, I feel that the interactions I've made with the society or the community at large needs my input to also bring a change that I aspire to see, or I intend to see in my constituency. So I think if it is a matter of giving back, I am better placed to give back to the people of Ndewa than any other constituency in the Republic of Kenya.
Or so you're giving back to the people of there because that is where you come from?
Uh, that question will really put me in a little bit of controversy.
Okay, or maybe if I reframe my question, you want to give back to the people of Ndewa because you feel like they lack a lot from the current leaders.
Exactly. That is it. I Dewa is a constituency that has got a lot of downfalls,
Mhm.
and all of these are originated from the current leadership that we have, and rather is doing his part as a member of parliament currently being the incumbent. But from where I sit, he has not done enough that we should be complacent and say that now we have a leader and all of us should be sitting pretty and waiting for any change to come. I think it is the right time for somebody like me who is carrying a vision, having interacted with the community all from the time I was born to date, that I see gaps that calls for a change of leadership from the current leadership that we have.
And sir, if I may ask you, what are some of the changes that you intend to bring to the people of Ndewa that the current leadership is not perfecting?
Yes, thank you for that question. I think that's the question that is pushing me to be an aspirant in the coming general election of 2027. Ndewa is really going through what I may say the low moments in the development record of a constituency. They were, to many people, even if you ask randomly, many people do not understand that there has been a leader after our late former member of parliament, uh, Joshua Ojode. Many people will tell you, we remember they were and we related to Ojode. After that, many people usually joke with me that Ojode died with our roads and infrastructural development. To date, if he today many people are happy because the rains are there and we are preparing our farms. But to many of the residents of that constituency, the question they're asking, can they reach any market with the products of the farms that they're preparing? Simply because we do not have roads. The roads of that constituency are very, very much in a bad state. Dewa is known for sugarcane plantation, and we are blessed to have one of the industries of sugar in the Saidi constituency. But farmers find it very hard to reach or to access the factory with their sugar cane, and that really has been one of the greatest impediment of growth in that constituency. We have bad roads, and sometimes you ask, because with the availability of that industry itself, there is a special tax that is levied on farmers called cess that is responsible for doing roads. But to date, there is no proper leadership that can supervise whether the cess is really doing what it is intended to do. And that is really a cry of many people in that constituency. And even to the insignificant efforts that has been made to make roads, there is no supervision of those roads. We realize that sometimes the contractor comes, the contractor that is not supervised will not put much energy or much expertise in realizing a good standard road, just because maybe because we know what happens in this country, where if you are in good books with the leadership of an area, then you can easily say that maybe the money that we see in papers having been allocated for construction of those roads is not doing what it is intended to do. Another thing, just on the infrastructure again, our schools are in pathetic state. The school infrastructure, the latrines in primary schools and secondary schools in the entire constituency, some of them are falling off. Some of them are the bad news we watch in the mainstream media, that such a school, the Ministry of Health is intending to close because there is no sanitation. And all these news, most of them come from the constituency that we are talking about today. I see sometimes the member of parliament is launching classrooms, but the planning of those classrooms really is worrying, because the limited resource we have in this country is land. If you don't plan where the classroom is going to be, if every school that has got a corner somewhere, we place a classroom without looking at the projection on if the population increases even in the next 20 years, where else shall we build other classrooms? So there is need to plan and have classrooms that, if we are talking of 8 classrooms in the next 5 years, but then can we design where there is a room for expanding to other classrooms than just a corridor somewhere there is a classroom, one block being launched, tapes being cut in the name of launching of projects, but really in the long run it will be classrooms scattered everywhere, but not matching the population that we intend to achieve in our local primary and secondary schools. Another thing is education. We see a lot of efforts in other regions where there is mentorship of children and pupils, but the leadership that we have is a leadership that attends funerals. There is no day you will see a representation of a constituency office in a Thanksgiving ceremony of a school where an expert in matters of career has been invited to mentor children in the line of their career path and growth. So if we have those gaps, then we are not modeling leaders of tomorrow, or rather the country as a whole is producing graduates in whatever level, but they will be exempted from those lists of the experts that will be coming from all regions of this country.
Mr. Gonzaga, if I may ask, aside from NDHIWA constituency, on national politics, what is your opinion on the Mount Kenya trip?
Yes, I saw the President, His Excellency Dr. William Ruto, was in Mount Kenya the whole of last week until yesterday. And I think politically, his trip was a success if we view it from where many people look at politics. One, the attendance was good. Secondly, what the politician in the stature of the president wanted to achieve, I think from where I see it, he achieved it. Because first, politics is perception. Many people in the corridors of this country were saying that president will not amass the crowd that we witnessed in Mount Kenya region. The president would be stoned, or any, to some worse extent, maybe being booed in the public barazas. But far from it, such ugly scenes were not witnessed, and if it were, if some of the highlights of bad interactions that really featured in our televisions were local leaders from Mount Kenya, from the Mount Kenya region, being booed or rather heckled by their fellow Mount Kenya residents. And that is to say that national politics is very delicate as at now, that we are very much, the country is ripe for politics while it is still very early. We are still far from 2027, but if you look at it, why is president taking much of his time to tour Mount Kenya? From where I sit, there are two things. One, he wants to make that crowd to be in the people's memory, so that any number that will be registered in 2027, whether it is a cooked figure or a real figure, people will believe because they saw a crowd. Secondly, president is the president of the entire country. He cannot be lectured or be given a condition on which area he should not visit and which area he should visit. So I think he was trying to stamp his authority and make the Kenyans know, or rather the naysayers be aware that he is the president of everyone, not the region that love him, not the region that does not love him. He is trying to be fair to everyone, irrespective of your stand politically. So from where I sit, he did his part as a politician, and he did this part as the head of state, and he has the obligation to appear everywhere without being gagged to appear in whichever part of this country. So he did his part as a politician. That is what I can say now.
Okay, thank you. And for the broad-based politics, do you think this is beneficial to the country? Or
Yes, I'm not young politically. I might be young in terms of the entry into elective politics, but politically I've been very much awake. I've watched and I've witnessed many instances of politics unveiling itself to the people of Kenya. And in such a time when we are talking about broad-based, the question we should be asking ourselves, why that term broad-based? You live in this country, and I believe sometimes you watch the occurrences that really take place in this country. There was a time we had KRA officials being recruited in this country. And when the result came out, the recruitment only captured two regions of this country, that is Rift Valley and the Mount Kenya. 70% of the people who were recruited in those positions were dominantly coming from those regions. The question that somebody would ask, which university in this country that only trains experts in KRA from two ethnic groups? Another thing is this country is made of tribes, and these tribes really count in terms of the political decisions of this country. So if you have a government that is made up of two tribes, then you are creating serious animosity in terms of the representation, because many people perceive that they are in government by mentioning names of people that they resonate with in terms of the mother tongue that they speak. If today you talk about the treasury, it is not like that all Luos sleep in Mbadi's home, but they perceive that Mbadi being there, they are represented. And to them, the happy statements they will make to you is, money is counted in Homa Bay, while in reality, money can never be counted in Homa Bay. If we are talking about the rural electrification, we saw the other previous government when some grass-thatched houses electricity was being installed in those houses. But all that, if you go to the Western region, all those connections that we witnessed and were very flowery in our televisions reached Bomet, Kericho, and were moved to regions that were perceived to be supporting the government of that time. So today, if you see people like Opiyo Wandayi doing the same projects in Siaya, then the people of Siaya will tell you we are in government. If you see Joe in Mombasa doing projects within the blue economy, then the people of Mombasa will tell you it is being done because they are in government, courtesy of Joho. Yes, if you look at the way development has been skewed in this country, look at the fish processing industry. It is located in Thika. Then the stupid question you can ask is that, where is the raw material? The raw material comes from Mombasa. from the Indian Ocean. The raw material comes from Lake Victoria and Lake Naivasha, or rather, and some fish ponds around the country. But if you were to strategically place an industry to process that kind of product, then it would be either in Mombasa or along the shores of Lake Victoria. But that is it. We will live with it. And that is the reason why sometimes I look at broad-based without considering the current political space. I would say it is a good thing to think broad-based. But the way politicians sometimes take advantage of it, where they now don't see good things, they only see bad things. And if to make it more graphic, you will realize that the bad things that the constituents or the people of this country talk about, they have been informed about those bad things by the politicians. The bad names that politicians call each other, they have been told those things by, it is the politicians who have informed the public on how bad another politician is, and they believe because it is their leader. So broad-based, the concept of broad-based is very much welcomed. It's just that we pray that its implementation and execution, so that it covers the entire country in terms of distributing development to every corner of this country, so that many people come 2027 will say we had a broad-based, and through broad-based we achieve certain milestones in development. So from where I see it, broad-based is good. We wish that politicians will follow in its meaning to achieve equality in terms of the distribution of resources in this country.
Okay, and just to wind up, I'm informed that ODM is yet to have their elections in April. What do you say about that?
Yes, ODM is a big political party, and they are doing their election, grassroots election from the 7th, that is Monday, 7th, at the ward level, and there is at the constituency level that will take place on 9th, that will be on Wednesday. So it is a good thing for ODM to put their house in order, and that is what we are doing through directly or indirectly, in whichever way we can. We are doing that now. I just wish that many people have highlighted some dissenting opinion in terms of how the delegates were reached, how some were shortchanged from the list, people who were publicly elected in certain positions. Later on, the list came with different names. And it's good that I saw the Secretary General nullifying some list, or rather putting them on hold until the correct list is given to the public. I just wish the people that will participate in seeking positions in the party a success, and the people that will not be lucky enough to be considered for their positions of interest to wait and fight another day. It is good to participate actively in the politics of a political party as big as ODM, but when you don't get what you want, let us all learn from Baba. Many a times he put himself on the front line in the national politics, but if he doesn't get, or we don't achieve what our intended purpose was, we always see Baba recoil himself and really come back bigger than we never expected. So let's all participate in the elections, and let us be fair and get the people that the public themselves have confidence in.
Okay, and with that, I think our interview is done. and I would like to appreciate you for having time. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.